Our next story is from China, and once again, it is cracking down on the Uyghurs. It is flagging them as extremists. And why is that? For simply following their religion, for possessing their holy book, the Quran. And this, of course, is not new. We have been reporting on this, telling you about this earlier as well. How Uyghurs are tortured in China, how Xi Jinping is firm on erasing their very existence. But now we have some new findings that have been made public for the first time since 2019. A Human Rights Watch investigation has revealed some alarming details. For 9 months between 2017 and 2018, Chinese authorities monitored Uyghurs' phones. How exactly? Through Xinjiang's automated police mass surveillance systems. And this was a part of a bigger plan. The Chinese authorities were compiling a master list during the said period. The police conducted nearly 11 million searches on 1.2 million cell phones in Xinjiang's capital. They put together a list of 50,000 media files. And what was its purpose? It was sort of a reference, a checklist to identify what China calls violent extremism. If its content matched with that on the Uyghurs' phones, then they were flagged as extremists. They were picked up by the police and tortured. They were detained in so-called political education camps or sentenced to prison terms. Those imprisoned faced closed trials without access to lawyers. All this for what? What exactly was on this master list? It contained gruesome photos, audios, and videos relating to violence, beheadings, torture. There were atrocities carried out by the ISIS, Chechen fighters, Mexican and other drug cartels. But guess what? It also had media files that had nothing to do with violence. There was common Islamic religious content, Quran readings, even wedding songs made it to this list of violent content. Can you believe that? China considers songs played during Muslim weddings as violent content. And how do you justify that? You see, China has this problem. It conflates Islam with violent extremism. For China, following Islam is the same as radicalization. So Beijing has sworn to sinicize Islam. Hence the list. It was a part of an even larger database, in fact. A 52 GB trove of 1,600 data tables, all fished from the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. And what was it used for? To target Uyghurs, to interrogate, arrest and torture them. For 4 years, from 2015 to 2019, Urumqi police conducted surveillance and arrests based on this database. There was yet another list, and this one contained the search results of the Jingwang Weishi app. Jingwang Weishi is a surveillance application, and Chinese police in Urumqi forced the residents to download it on their phones. And even visitors, by the way, are required to do that. This app lets the authorities spy on mobile phones, and through this app, the police found thousands of files on 1,400 Uyghur phones that matched with the content on the master list, the one that I told you about earlier. But what comes next is the infuriating part. 57% of these files were common religious material. They included readings from the Quran. 9% matched with the files relating to violent crimes conducted by militant groups. And only 4% actually related to calls for violence. And the remaining 30% could not be identified. Barely a month ago, China had deployed spies to ensure that Uyghurs did not fast during Ramzan. 56 Uyghur residents were interrogated. 54 of them were said to have violated the laws by fasting. What happened to them? The authorities hushed it up. Now, whether it's fasting or reading their holy book, Uyghurs have faced severe punishment. Time and again, they have been forced to hand over their prayer mats, copies of the Quran and other religious material. You see, China remains intolerant as far as Islam is concerned, and Uyghurs continue to suffer at its hands. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.